France by way of Detroit, Michigan. I'm Dave, and you're watching Barber Dave's Shaves and Stuff. Hey everybody, welcome to Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing well. We're finally recovering from our cold weather. Still kind of cool, but not that bad. So today, I mentioned we are going to France by way of Detroit. And what do I mean by Detroit? Now, not necessarily Detroit. Maybe Flint, I can't remember. But our premium brush maker, Eric Sorrentino, lives in that area, in the Detroit area. Detroit, Flint, something like that, but Detroit sounded better. So, where's the Detroit part? Sorrentino Brushworks, AMAX synthetic knot. Absolutely incredible. We hope very soon that Eric will get back to making his wonderful brushes, because I personally is one of the best brush makers out there, in my opinion. Especially because the brushes are very, very well done, very unique, and extremely affordable. And if you guys watched my video yesterday, before we go any further, hey, if you like the content that you see here on the channel, please come and join us over at www.theshavingcadre.com. And if you like live talk show type stuff, come and join us at Drinks and Dave's every Tuesday at 6 p.m. And we'll have our show tonight. So come and join us. Not sure what the topic's going to be, but we always end up on food anyway. But as I was saying, yesterday, if you watched my video, you noticed that I actually called an audible and brought this brush in to relieve my Morrison Fondran, which is a very expensive brush, because I was not getting the lather that I thought I should get. But this is beautiful. Okay, so let's talk about France. No one, and I would argue this to my dying days, no one does hard milled shaving soaps like the French, i.e. Pré de Provence, Martin de Candre. These soaps are wonderful lathering, and they last forever. This, I have no idea how old this is, but that's all that I've used. Now, granted, I do have a lot of other soaps, but this soap, and we're going to be using the matching aftershave and all that other stuff too with us. But this soap, if you can, and you can find it sometimes in some higher end grocery stores, but you can order this. It's a wonderful, wonderful soap. Deep, dark, still has a little bit of brightness to it. But Pré de Provence number 63. This will last you until you die. It will last your grandchildren until they die, your kids until they die, and the aliens until they die, the ones that, abducted your granny. It'll last that long, and it'll probably be here when Christ comes back. It's that good of stuff. Okay, enough about that. As far as our razor today, sticking with the French theme, we are going to be going with a Thiers Izzard 5/8 La Legende, and this is in the Leaf program. This is part of a 7-day set. Going to be doing something a little bit different next Sunday. Next Sunday, I believe one of my viewers was able to find a Blackland Vector on the used market for a fairly reasonable price, and he had asked if I would do a video taking somebody through the paces with the Blackland Vector. So we're going to do that next Sunday. So for some of you, it might be boring, but for those of you that have not used the Vector, it might change your mind, because it is, in my opinion, the finest Feather SE single edge razor that uses the feather system on the market. It's just a fantastic razor. Very intuitive. Very fun to use. This razor has been stropped 30, 60, and 20 on linen, leather, and a convex bench strap. Originally, I believe I honed this razor on Shapton stones through 30,000, but it was a little bit too harsh for me, so I started over and did a Dillicott Archicot finish, and I've kept it that way. The only addition that I've added is stropping it on the convex bench hone. And that just gave it just a little bit extra keenness for me. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. To me, this is my Sunday. So I go back to the shop tomorrow for one more week before I leave for Las Vegas in our convention. So there probably will not be a shave video, not this next Sunday, because that's when I'm going to do the vector, but the Sunday after, because I'll be heading back. But I should be have no problem with Monday and Tuesday. In fact, I may even do one Wednesday. So those of you that have started your straight razor journey, if you've used my straight razor learning series, or even if you haven't, how is your journey going? If you have any questions, if you need some tips, tricks, put them in this video down in the comments, and I will try to get back to them. Or if you're watching the Straight Razor Learning Series, put the comments in that specific video, and I will try to get back to you in that video. But hopefully your straight razor journey is going well and injury-free. But all I can say is don't rush it. Take the time to learn the techniques and hone your technique and get your habits down and your muscle memory down. That way you don't start making mistakes. Because I've seen where people get into bad habits and they may injure themselves really, really bad, or they're not getting the types of shaves they thought they should get out of a straight razor, and they quit. And you don't want to do that. Because really, in my opinion. There is no better way to shave. It keeps a tradition alive. And it's a lot of fun. The only negative thing is there's not a lot of talking. But in a way, that's a good thing. Okay, let's see how much cleanup we're going to need. Yep, just in the neck area as usual. Again, if you have not tried any of the Prix de Provence or the Martin de Candre, and I don't get paid by them, but French hard milled soaps. The British have tried to do hard milled soaps. There's a couple of Italian makers that do hard milled, but none of them do hard milled like the French. Sorry. I will say, however, that with the French hard milled soaps, at least for me, you do need to add a little bit extra water to get the slickness that you need. But all of the French hard made soaps are just classy soaps. All right. Very nice. Zero on the alum burn. Well, maybe a little at the corner of my lips, but nothing major. Let that percolate, as I say, for a few moments. Also, one thing with your straight razors, make sure that you dry out in between the scales. So once you dry the blade, let that sit for a little bit, and then take some tissue paper and put it between the scales to dry those out, because you don't want that, because once you close that extra moisture can get onto the steel and start causing what we call dalmatianing or pitting, and then also cause rust. And it starts out as a tea stain that you can wipe off, but it'll also blemish your blade. And laziness, because believe me, I've had some blades that have been affected by that. Laziness is the big thing. Again, our Detroit, our Sorrentino Corleone. Just a wonderful shave. And don't ever try to rush a straight shave. That's just a recipe for disaster. And since we are in the Provence region of France, we're going to be using lavender. Thayer's lavender. So I guess I could argue that there is a little bit of British in there. I think Thayer's is made in Britain. I don't know. I don't have my glasses on, or I'd check that for you. But it's still good stuff. Today we're going to be using PdP Provence number 63 Aftershave Balm. This you do not need a lot of. That is probably too much. This stuff does not emulsify as quick as some of the other balms, but from a protection standpoint, it's wonderful. Lightly scented. You will not get it. Obviously, you won't get an alcohol burn with it, but it dries down really well. I caution that if you live in a humid area, you may want to take just a dot of this and then mix it with a little bit of water. Or I guess you could put a little bit of rubbing alcohol in there, just very little, or some type of facial alcohol to emulsify it, because otherwise it can, that's why I don't use this very often in the summer, because it can become a little bit cloying if you use too much of the aftershave balm. And I don't use a ton of balms to begin with. Today, just to match, we're going to be using Yardley Gold for our talc. So we're thinking we're going to try, I'm going to try to do a live shave on Tuesday of next week, or not next week, the week after, from our convention. And then we're probably going to do a live show from our convention if time permits it. And if you're in the, quite frankly, if you're in the Las Vegas area and you're near a Boulder station and you want to come by and say hi, we will be there. And some of the people that you may follow on YouTube will be there. Major Rich, Nurse Dave, Straight Faced, he'll be there. So if you're in and around there, DM me on this channel, and we will see if we can hook up. And that'll be the first week in April that we will be there. I'll have more on it for next week's video. And of course, we're using PdP Provence number 63 as far as the EDT. Okay, that's it, folks. Thank you so much for joining us all 3 days. As always, I do appreciate the likes, the subscribes, and the notification. Make sure you ring the notification bells. The likes are very important. Please comment. I try to get back to everybody I can. Our next big giveaway, again, will be at 1,500 subscribers. I think we're at 1350, somewhere around in there. So we got a ways to go, but with your help, we can get there quicker. Anyhow, I'm Barber Dave. This has been Barber Dave's Barbershop. Oh, excuse me. That used to be the old name, Barbershop at Home. Well, it still is. Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home and Barber Dave's Shaves and such. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and thank you for watching this train wreck. Have a great day.